All right, so as I mentioned, we got some breaking news tonight in another case. This is the case against the pop star David Anthony Burke, better known as David, spelled with a 4. Again, this is a massive story. We've been following it. It is huge online right now, ton of interest. The singer has been in the spotlight ever since the body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was allegedly discovered in the trunk of this Tesla, or his Tesla. And the pair were supposedly in a relationship, although that wasn't confirmed by authorities. When police found Celeste's body in a Los Angeles tow yard in early September, talking about how far back this goes, initial reports indicated that her body wasn't just decomposed, that it had been dismembered. Today, we may have finally gotten confirmation of that disturbing detail, and also official confirmation that there is a real, active criminal case against David for a charge of murder. And this is all thanks to previously sealed court records that were obtained by private investigator Steve Fischer, which he released to the public. He's going to come on in a minute. But the records are tied to the Los Angeles County grand jury investigation against the singer, and they contain allegations that when detectives discovered Celeste's body in the trunk of that Tesla, it wasn't in one, but 2 bags, including one identified as, quote, a cadaver bag. Yeah, one body, 2 separate bags. And I don't know, call it ironic or not, but we are learning all of this is thanks to David's family. You see, his Houston-based father and other relatives, they were served a summons to testify in the pop star's case back in January, but when they tried to fight it, their legal battle, which contained these documents, became public record thanks to Texas law and, again, Steve. Now, these documents raise some very big questions about the strength of the case against the singer, because prosecutors have seemingly known these details for months, right? And finding a body in 2 separate bags sure seems like something that would lead to an arrest, so why isn't David or anyone associated with him in cuffs? Now, we've reached out to David's team for comment, haven't gotten a reply yet. Joining me now exclusively is missing persons private investigator Steve Fischer, who has been covering this story since it began. Steve, thanks so much for coming on. I first have to ask you, what led you to post all this today? And I'll be clear, you were quite vocal about your frustrations in this case.
Yeah, listen, these documents became available, and to be honest with you, it was the first confirmation that I got that she was actually dismembered. That's something that, I couldn't find out. I really was hoping that that was not the case, and that just changed everything. I was vocal about it. I only do missing persons cases, and I'm really passionate about them, and especially about these victims that don't really have a voice and that are taken advantage of. And that is the case here with Celeste, who was 12 and 13 years old when this started. And it just, and I'm getting angry, to be honest with you. I don't like the way that things are moving forward, and the lack of transparency, but they're telling us that it's not a lack of transparency. It's just things need to change, and I think we need to get more vocal.
So I want to get into that, but now that this is in the court documents and is seemingly a confirmation, there was a conversation before, well, maybe she died accidentally. Let's say, there were some theories of drug overdose, people panicked, put her in the car, wasn't sure what to do with her. Now, if there's confirmation she was dismembered in such a brutal fashion, and that they are looking at a murder charge for him, intentional murder, what does that tell you? What is your theory of this case right now regarding what might have happened to Celeste?
Well, what happened was vicious, and this was not. And we were hoping it was like an overdose and a bad decision made by some people to figure out how to get rid of her body. But she was hacked apart. She wasn't surgically taken apart. She was brutally pulled apart. With instruments and tools, and put in 2 separate bags, and then thrown in the trunk of a car, and they went on with their lives for many months. And while she was there rotting, and it's infuriating. It is just sadistic. It is. Listen, this is rare. This happens in the world, and this is why we need this person off the street. There's no.
Well, why do you think there's a delay in charges and arrest? Do you think this is a weakness in the case, or are they just building their case for the grand jury?
Well, maybe they're building their case, but 6 months is a very long time. Like how, this isn't like we found remains in a desert and there was nothing to go on. We're starting from zero. This is a girl that was found in somebody's registered vehicle in a wealthy neighborhood with a lot of cameras, in a car that has cameras. And, certainly, listen, I deal with like search warrant returns on cell phones all the time. That stuff comes back in 2 or 3 days. So they have her phone activity. They might not have her phone, but they have all those, things that they can tie together, and it just can't be that hard of a case. But if it is,
you mentioned the cadaver bag. Do you think that's tied to anybody?
Somebody bought it. I mean,
and they could track that.
Yeah, well, sure. And like, listen, we know that somebody ordered a burn cage, and it was delivered to the house in a different name, but that can be tracked. And I'm sure, how many private individuals are buying cadaver bags? Probably not that many. And, so I think there's things to go on, but I don't think it takes 6 months with top investigators.
So let me break this down. If you're talking about 2 bags, right, and what you know about the bags, you're also concerned by the fact that it looks like just David is the target, but you believe he might have had help here, right? Allegedly.
Yes, so it's all allegedly, but I mean, I don't see any way that this is done by one person. I just don't. And I also know that the car was moved by somebody other than David. I'm just certain that there was, people that knew about it. Listen, that car was putting off a foul odor. There's even live streams where there's a makeup artist that mentions an odor in the house, and they make up this excuse for it. People knew about this, and everybody that knew about it needs to pay a price, as far as I'm concerned. But there's only one target in that, in that paperwork, and that is David, and it's also only one charge, and.
I mean, murder's the top charge here, and they seem to suggest. I mean, they seem to suggest. I don't know what evidence what evidence do you think they have to suggest that he intentionally killed her?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a murder. Malice aforethought.
Yeah.
It's the highest level. That means that this was intentional. This was not. So I don't know what to have. That I guess. That's my whole thing. I don't know, but I know that in order for them to be saying that, they got to have something. So if they've got it, what are we doing? And if you don't have it yet, why can't we start with something? Because there's a lot of other crimes that can be charged here, but this needs to be put in motion. There was evidence left behind that wasn't taken. I don't know why. There's 4 terabytes of surveillance from a house directly across the street that was not obtained. There's missteps here, okay? And it's been a long time. This girl needs justice, and I'm just going to start calling it out.
What about David's family? Why would the prosecutor want them to testify? For what purpose? And I also have to imagine whether or not they would plead the 5th, right against self-incrimination if they wouldn't want to testify against their family member. But what would be the value of them testifying?
I can't see any value in it because, one, did David tell his family? Most likely, no. Well, you're not going to go tell your parents. But even if they did, like you said, they would plead or something. They're not going to give it up. And if we're holding up an indictment for them, because it ends up, it's been confirmed today, they have not appeared in front of the grand jury. Their attorneys confirmed that they still got an appeal process through a state level court going on. So if we're holding it up for what's going to be nothing, just like I'm sure they got nothing out of Neo Langston, what's missing, and keep us in. There's got to be some, keep us informed to some level, because we don't know if the community is safe. These are vicious.
I do wonder if they're calling them to confirm that Tesla was his and registered, because it was registered to the Texas address where they live, right?
Yeah, but listen, I mean, just through DMV records, you can,
That's true.
And also, listen, I have the license plate reader data for the last 18 months. I know where that car has been, and so I can prove that he's driving and where it's been and stuff. So there's so many avenues, but it's too slow.
And by the way, Neil Langston is David's purported friend who was arrested in Montana to seemingly appear before the grand jury. Yep. All right, Steve, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. And again, we are constantly following you on X for the latest updates, but appreciate so much your interest in this case and bringing attention to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.